We're back again with another episode of Roofer Reflections. I'm really excited to have Dean here. Dean, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
What were your early interests?
I actually got into the roofing industry while I was in school. A big storm had just happened, and there was a roofer that was trying to actually measure a lot of houses, and he was hiring salespeople to measure houses. People that didn't know anything about roofing were getting involved, and including myself. The only advantage I had is I understood like basic geometry, so I could measure faster. I then kind of figured out how to measure some things because we didn't have satellite imagery back then. Or we had satellite imagery, but no way to measure with it. So everything was measured by hand back then. I was pretty fast at measuring roofs really fast, and it was an easy way to make money. And then I started getting interested in all how the roofing part components came together, and before you know it, I was in the middle of the roofing industry.
And then I guess you've moved up into managerial roles?
Yeah, I've been in and out of managerial roles. I'm an estimator now. I'm doing probably the most difficult estimating that you can do now. Everything I deal with is complex.
Yeah. I mean, when you were moving through the roofing industry, did you have mentors? Did you self-learn? How did you gain this knowledge?
That kind of goes back to the Houston Area Contractors Association, RCAT, Roofing Contractors Association of Texas. Pretty much my entire career I've been involved with RCAT. When you're involved in that industry and you actually do more than just be a member, you get to work around and network with the best and the brightest in the industry. So I was fortunate in that. I quickly discovered the NTRCA, and around the time that I got into the roofing industry was, I think, the second or third year for the IRE. And that's kind of what opened up my eyes, to like how big this industry is and how complex. And what kept me in roofing was, I was almost done with my bachelor's, and the 2008 happened, and there were engineers and architects interviewing for my job, and I thought, man, if I'm an estimator, and you've got engineers coming in fresh out of school, some of them had already been an engineer and they were laid off. They were looking for jobs, and they were interviewing for the same job as me, and I hadn't even got my engineering degree yet. And I thought, man, this is a pretty solid industry if the engineers are coming here to look for jobs. So I finished my degree in engineering, and I just stayed in. I've been very comfortable in the industry for a long time now.
If you went back in time to see yourself, what sort of advice would you give yourself?
The only thing I might tell my younger version of myself is don't be afraid to walk down that road.
So if someone comes to you and asks you that is considering the roofing industry as a career, what would you tell them?
I tell them it's a great industry.